Hey, it's the Rican here, and today I'm going to address a couple different issues here that I've been seeing on the news. I was took a day off yesterday because I was watching sports, trying to unwind. But with everything going on, it's crazy. Um, Basically, what went on is this weekend between Apple, Google, and Amazon. Amazon, Apple, and Google. They nuked Parler, um, which what really upset me is more that people are okay with it, and it's just based on ideology because the framing in the media of this of Parler being a far right website, and just what ended up happening was people that got kicked out of Twitter or Facebook and stuff ended up going to Parler, and that doesn't make a group, that doesn't make a website far right. Um, and I just wanted to show how it's it's subjective. It doesn't, they're saying that Parler did, people on Parler were inciting stuff. That's where they planned everything, and I'm going to show you a couple. It took me 5 minutes. You could go and check out Antifa sites and Antifa pages on Twitter, and you can see the stuff that they have. And but Twitter's still on Apple Store, and Twitter's still on Google Play. So, so here I'm just gonna go through some things. Like I said, anyone could do this type of search. You could search on Twitter and put in Antifa, and you could see some of the stuff that's here. Um, Here's this. This is, I think this is Rose City Antifa, right? Yeah, Rose City Antifa, which is Portland, and you could see, which I started following some of them because it just they may disagree with them, and this is not my talk of me trying to get them banned because I'm against censorship. I'm just showing the hypocrisy that's going on with the not just with the media, uh, but with big tech, and how they're not even-handed when it comes to bans and enforcing their terms of service. Because that's what everybody on the left that's cheering it on. It's like, oh well, terms of service. They're a private company. I'm not saying that. I'm my whole thing is, yeah, they're a private company, whatever, but they are basically, it's a monopoly or it's a trust, however you want to look at it. And I thought the left was against monopolies and trusts. And here, like I said, here's, you could just look at some of the stuff that they have. I mean, obviously they're going to, pick themselves up. But there was something here that I wanted to show where here they're showing pictures of Proud Boys and calling them out, which is, here they're complaining that, they got censored by a company and then calling the company fascist for not supporting them. Um, and, you could, like I said, you could see here, and they're talking about stuff here. Obviously they're talking about people who attacked Antifa, but you never see the whole story. When you see the videos, you usually they're the ones that started, and then when someone, like Proud Boys or was it Patriot Prayer, some of these always things, they'll be the ones to start it. I mean, Antifa groups are always the ones to start it, and then these people finish it, and then they'll, oh, look what they did to us, and it's like, what did you guys start it? Like, remember the Andy No, which, let me segue into that Andy No. There was one here where it's like, here they're complaining about Andy No, and if anyone, you could Google what they did to him. If no one knows, Antifa threw milkshakes at him, and that sounds harmless as it is in itself, but they put concrete powder into the milkshakes, and with that, if anyone doesn't know anything, it's, first it's a irritant, it's a chemical, and it burns. It could burn you if it stays on your skin for too long. And this is what they did to him, and he still follows them, he still covers them, and they attack him for it. And to me, when you look at, you look at here, they're confronting Andy No, and the grift won't stop, and it's, here they're conspiracy theories. I mean, some of the stuff you're looking at here, they're like, they're the QAnon of the left, and Twitter purged everyone with the QAnon. Like, I never followed none of that QAnon stuff. People would send it to me and it'd say, yeah, yeah, yeah. But this is just the QAnon of the left, and it's still there. It's still allowed to propagate, and Twitter's fine with it. So, and then people make it about Donald Trump. And look, I'm not, it's not about Donald Trump. It's about censorship. It's about free speech. And I shouldn't be afraid or nervous about being on here expressing my opinions, worrying that, is it going to affect my future being on here? Well, you know what? If it is, it is. I rather, I want to speak my mind. If I can't speak my mind in this country, then that's the least of my problems. Because then I got to worry about where my kids are going. What world am I leaving to my kids if I don't fight up for this? If I don't fight up for their freedom to speak. So I'm here looking at this stuff. There's a guy, I follow this former Brooklyn politician who he's a Democrat that has not lost his mind. And you can see here he's talking about fall under threats by malicious actors like the Iranian regime that Twitter allows, and they said that, it's mere was it saber rattling? Excuse me. So here it's like, he's threatening the state of Israel. Your defeat and our revenge against you has begun. Let's see. You will have no peace even in your own homes. I muted it because I'm like, we don't need. It is not inconceivable that the revenge against you will come from within your home. Know this, I have made this recommendation elsewhere. The main perpetrators who committed this crime, blah, 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 blah. Let me see. I want to get to from U.S. President Trump to current Secretary of State Pompeo, who has been nurturing his hatred for the martyr Soleimani, whatever, for years on a daily basis. Look, they should all take a lesson from Salman Rushdie. Look, should they be censored either? No. Sunlight's the best disinfectant. And these things need to be out there. People need to see what's going on in the world. People need to see the different ideas. And I'm not saying all ideas are equal, not all ideas are good, but these ideas need to be out there, and we need to be able to speak about them. And that was the thing about Parler. It's like I was on Parler. If it comes back, I'll go back to Parler. It was basically, the layout was similar to Twitter, which made it easy to use, but I didn't have to worry about stuff I posted. Didn't have to worry about I'm going to say something that's going to get me banned, or if I share something like on Facebook. I shared a Fox News article that Tucker Carlson had interviewed a Chinese virologist, and they said it was fake news, and it got so my account's not suspended, but I can't promote it, and they throttle my viewing on it. And I'm just someone with like 100 followers on Facebook. That's it. And if I'm insignificant. I don't understand why they're doing that to someone like me, but it's still a form of censorship. It's like it was on a mainstream channel, but you guys don't like the Russia collusion hoax went on for 3 years, and there's still articles about it calling all sorts of fanatic stuff. But I want to end on talking about Parler here. I'm going to go here to the. I'll first go to CNN, where Parler sues Amazon for cutting off its services, and this is where I mean, it's funny here. I think Parler's. This is what I hate here. This is what I talk about with the media and the framing and how it's gross. It goes here. Parler, the alternative social media platform favored by the far right, sued. It's like favored by the far right. I'm someone that's on there. I'm not far right by no means. And here we go, with like I said, with the framing, that far right didn't need to be in there. Just say the social media favored, let's say, you can even say by people who were booted off Twitter or banned off Twitter. But that whole far right, now you're telling people on the left, I should be against Parler because I'm labeling it as far right. And that's the problem. It's like, and here it's like, also Amazon claims, it also claims Amazon breached its contract with Parler by not providing Parler 30 days notice of termination, which is usually in these contracts, these stuff are in it. So let's see, that to me, that's a clear violation. You want to talk about terms of service? Guess what? It works both ways, because if Amazon's going to say they're they have they're going to remove them from their services, guess what? You signed the contract also, and you signed that contract, so I hope you get what you deserve with that, because just doing that all, I mean, that just shows the corroboration. I mean, I think it's Devin Nunes that's calling for a RICO investigation into these into big tech, because that does sound fishy. That over the weekend you had Apple, is it Google that removed them first, then Apple, then Amazon removed them off their web services. That's not a coordinated attack. I'm not a conspiracy person, but I can do math, and 1 + 1 equals 2, or 2 + 2 equals 4, unless you're living in 1984. And here's one from the Daily Wire, where it talks about the, let's see, Amazon said Parler presented a very real risk to public safety. And like I said, I just showed you some of the stuff there on Twitter that is a danger to public safety, but it's still there on Twitter, and Twitter's still on, Google and Apple. So it's subjective. That's where I tell my friends who are, they're far right, and they're hate speech. Look, listen, free speech is free speech. If you can't protect speech that you deplore, then then it's easy to defend speech that you agree with. It's hard to defend speech that you disagree with. So am I okay with I know people who are promoting communism because they think that that's awesome and we should go, that's the way we should go. You know what? They shouldn't be banned. The people, all these neo-Nazis and KKK, they want to go on Twitter, and they want to go. By all means, go on there. How are we gonna reach these people if we ban them? If we try to shun them from society? We're never gonna de-radicalize these people. And so I'm hoping that see, I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna stop showing you the screen. And there we go. Just stop showing you the screen. So, because I'm just going to speak for the last few minutes. This is what's, we have to be able to reach these people, to get them back into the fold, to go, hey, look, listen, I agree with, I believe in the Constitution. I believe in the Bill of Rights. I'm a Christian. Hey, we have a lot in common. We have more in common than you think that we don't. And that's how you de-radicalize these neo Nazis and these KKK and these racist people. You don't de-radicalize them by calling them racist and sending them all together by themselves. Because even if they go there to parlor, guess what? You're gonna have someone like me that's libertarian, that's right leaning, they'll go, oh crap, look at this Puerto Rican guy here, and he's talking about stuff that I believe in too. Maybe I'm not. Maybe my problem is not that maybe my problem is not race. Maybe my problem is ideology. And that's how you reach these people. But you can't do that if you're gonna live in a bubble. And that's I even in high school I was a clique buster because I never had everybody has their group of friends, but you know what, I had friends in every clique, whether it was the jocks, whether it was the nerds, whether it was the geeks, whether it was the popular people, the stoners, all those different groups I always had friends with. I was always friends with some of them. And so I've always have I have an eclectic taste in food, and so someone like me could reach those people. But guess what? Parler just took it away. I mean, Amazon and Google and Apple, they took my opportunity to reach some of these people away. You may not agree with our political ideology, and that's what kills me about this whole thing with racism, and how Democrats have done a great job at linking people who lean right and racism. Because yes, there are racists on the right, but guess what? There's extreme racism on the left, but the racism on the left is allowed to fester. It's almost accepted. Like you got open anti-Semitism that's okay, and you have you're saying being actively anti-racist, and I won't say anti-racist in quotes. That's acknowledged. That's perpetrated. It's saying that's the way to move forward with to cure racism. How is more racism going to cure racism? Because that's all it is. Joe Biden talking about he's going to make sure that black and Latino, but no, businesses, help all the small businesses. It doesn't matter whether they're black or white or Latino or whatever. Just help the small businesses, because they're the ones that have been screwed during this pandemic. Amazon's doing fine. Walmart's doing fine. All these big corporations are doing fine. Help the mom and pop shops. But forget about this whole race stuff. That's what's killing this country, is the whole just worrying about race. And having all we're going to do is going to create a further division without letting people have their say, without people having a voice. That's all you're going to do. All it's going to do is further the divide and make a flammable situation more flammable and more dangerous, because then these people are going to be powder kegs. Because when the left go too far, like what's going on now, they're acting like the Capitol riot was a terrorist attack that was like equating it to 9/11. And what are you going to do? You're going to create a Patriot Act for right-leaning people? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to put or crazy. I was just going to say, what are you going to do? No fly list for conservatives and libertarians? But it started. It already started. There's people that were put on a no-fly list that were there in Washington on last week, and not even people that went into the Capitol building. Just people that were there for the rally, for the protest. So just remember this stuff when when my friends on the left, and just remember that stuff, that it's not. They'll come for you, because there's going to be a time when they may finish eating us. But then they're going to be hungry, and they're going to want to find more people, because you're never going to be pure enough. You're never going to be not racist enough. They'll always find something. So just be aware of that. And Hope you guys enjoyed my video. If you do, remember, like and subscribe. Leave a comment. If there's something that you want to make a point about, we could talk about it in the comment section. And with that being said, have a good one, everyone.